What's up, folks? Welcome in. Happy Saturday night, I guess, if that's even a thing. But yeah, welcome back. I'm hearing all sorts of stuff. People are sending me all sorts of stuff on Instagram. Hey, Jake, are we trading for, well, who do you guys have? Montez Sweat, I think it was? Yeah, I already see it in the comment section. Yeah. Um, So we're gonna get into that. I might make a separate video because I think it's something that's I think a legitimate question. I don't know why Washington would trade him away. Also, it's a Q&A. Ask me anything as always. I got the USFL semifinals on there, so I could cheer on my guy Kyle Sloter and the New Orleans Breakers, hoping that they can beat the Stallions team. Um, it's 21-14 at the half, so I'll be kind of commentating that. Not like as a like full on play by play, but it is in the background, so I have been watching that. But how is everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing well. What's up, Substance? It's the greenest and most leanest. Made it on time. What's up, Dr. Dingus? What's up, Jawson? Peo, how we doing? Montez Sweat trade realistic? I wouldn't necessarily call it realistic. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Buffalo Jet fan, how we doing? What's up? Welcome to the show. Nolan, what's up? Question: have you ever auditioned for anything, e.g., call in or radio? Um, so I don't really know what I auditioned for, but this one time, just trying to find all sorts of gigs and, really anything, I guess, to try to make some money. I auditioned for this, voiceover thing. I think it was for like a kids show. I just put in like my, credentials and all that. They got back to me. They wanted me to do it, so I sent them a quick tape and basically, read it. Guys, I'll be honest. It's why my videos, not really the reason why, but a lot of my videos, they're not scripted. Actually, none of my videos are scripted. There might be some that have bullet points, but for the most part, I do everything on the fly because I talk about the topics so much that I actually put out there that I have a pretty good idea of how I want to sound and, where I want to go with it. So I'm not good in conclusion. The reason I'm telling you this, I'm not good using a script. I'm not. So unless I get better, I don't know if that voiceover stuff is for me. On top of that, on the flip side, I'm not the greatest writer. So while I've written over 500, maybe to 1,000 articles, I'm not the greatest writer. So I can't sit there and transcribe. I know people that do that for a living and they make a ton of money doing it. That's something I can't do. So scripts of any sort, whether I'm creating them or whether I'm reading them, I'm just not the best script writer or script reader. So to answer your question, yes, I auditioned. I don't remember what I auditioned for. They didn't really give me many details, and they didn't get back to me. So I assume it was absolutely terrible, and I'll just continue to live my life assuming it was terrible. What's up, Willie? How we doing? Hilltop, how we doing? Jake! Hey, I just saw you. What's up, my guy? Let's see here. Jake, did you see what Damian Lillard posted on IG? Yeah, so I wanna make mention of that. Damian Lillard and it was Yusuf Nurkic, I think is how you say his name. And Nurkic actually posted a picture of Kevin Durant in a he posted the same picture, the one with Damian Lillard, and he come to Portland. I hate to break it to you, Nurkic. I like you as a player. But one, you are not part of that. You are not what they're talking about bringing KD with. That's the first thing. The second thing is you're cracking me up if you think that you're going to be staying in Portland if they trade for Kevin Durant. I got news for you, guy. You're going to be part of that deal to bring Kevin Durant to Portland. So celebrate that all you want. Push that all you want. But unless you want to see yourself end up in Brooklyn, I don't know if I'd be pushing any sort of trades if I was him. Appreciate you, Brian. Always love that. Love to hear that. It is very, it's just an awesome feeling. I get that. And I'm just like, the other day I followed somebody on Twitter. I just really like their stuff. They're Rams fan or even a Jets fan. If I like any of their stuff, doing their content, whatever. And I guess I don't realize, how much my follow back means to some people. Like the guy was saying it made his day. And I was like, man, I want to make everyone's day. So, pretty awesome stuff there. Let's see. I'll be happy when OBJ signs with the Rams. Might be waiting a little bit, but I hear you there. Jake, what do you think of PFF? Because I swear they don't even watch football. I'm going to say this. I think there are some good people at PFF. I definitely know a few really good people at PFF. So I do think they do watch football. I just don't know if their model, because it is a human model, right? I don't know if their model is conducive to, you know, telling the best story, so to speak. I mean, we're flawed as human beings, and everyone has their own opinion. And the eye test, which is why I don't like the eye test, everyone has their own freaking eye test. Everyone has their own freaking set of eyes. So it's like, if you're saying this guy's trash or whatever, and then another guy's saying he's a treasure, well, I mean, I don't like the word trash being used to describe a guy's talent. I think it's very demeaning in a sense, so I try not to use that. If you ever catch me using that, and sometimes I do, just know that I'm completely speaking out of my character, and you should be shaming me for it. But, you know, really what it comes down to is this. When you have all those set of eyes and different people watching different things, different, you know, plays and whatnot, someone may actually, and this is where the grade comes in, you know, the PFF grades are a collection of data, not just one person. So it's not just one person deciding the grades at PFF, it's a collection of people deciding it. And so this is the issue, is that you could have one person giving the play a 2, which I believe if they're still doing the grading system that I was privy to, then it would be a 2 for the best play, -2 for the worst play, 0 for an okay play, 1 for an above and beyond play, but 2 is the best you can get, -2 is the worst, right? So on one hand, you could have somebody saying, wow, you know, Jalen Ramsey made a hell of a play. He dissected the quarterback's eyes, and he absolutely destroyed the quarterback, jumping the route, picking it off, whatever. Another person might look at that and say, Jalen left his assignment, and to me, even though he got the interception, he left his assignment. You know, that could have been, he could have been pump faked out of the play if the quarterback was better. He could have pumped it. Jalen would have jumped and tried to dive and make the catch and you know, jump the route. But then if he, you know, held him with his eyes or pump faked it, could have thrown over the top of him. I've heard that too. So that's the thing, is that also on top of that, where two people can see two different plays, you know, there's one outcome to a play, but two people can kind of have different opinions on that said play. But the other thing to keep in mind when they're doing this analysis is that with PFF, it's, we do not know what everyone was supposed to do on that play. So remember at home, if you're sitting there and you're like, wow, that guy's trash, he should have gone and he easily should have, we don't know. If they're in zone coverage and the safety zone is to stay in this area and the ball goes over here, and maybe, you know, our eyes watching the game, why wasn't he over there? Why was he just playing this? He's in his zone. He's doing what the coach told him to do. He's doing what the play entailed. That happens. So that's my issue with trying to grade players. But also, you have to understand, it's incredibly difficult to grade players. There are guys that are better than given credit for because of it. I would argue PFF does a better job grading players than Madden does rating them. Because a lot of what Madden does with the ratings is, in my opinion anyway, it seems like it's a popularity contest. You know? So, you know, I hear you. There are some times where PFF kind of irks me, but you have to keep in mind there are a lot of different people at PFF. There are some really good minds there, really good football minds, guys that know way more about football than I will even, you know, forget. So that's kind of my thought process there. It kind of goes hand in hand. There are some people that are good. There's some people that just aren't so good, and that's what happens. I mean, anytime you're going to have something like that. Are Spider-Man Michael Myers friend now? Yeah, I don't know if you guys don't have to adjust your TV set or your phone or anything. I did switch them. I wanted to see if anyone noticed. No, I switched them because my shoulder tends to block most of Michael Myers, but since Spider-Man's more upright, you can see Spider-Man peering through. So I do like that. Let's see. Goff went 13-3 and went the Super Bowl in the second year of McVay's offense. Stafford won his first year. Rams should be Super Bowl favorites. I agree with that. Definitely agree with that. Switching up the background, I see. Yeah, actually I did it yesterday and no one noticed. Make Jake stay and hit that like button. Yes, I really do appreciate when you guys hit the like button. It brings, it tells YouTube, "Hey, I think people like this video. Let's put more people onto this video." And all of a sudden, they could be watching cat videos, they could be watching whatever, and I'm going to show up on the side panel. That's how it works. And it'll say that I'm live and you can join right away. Jake, you, Peo, Rudy, and Travis Rogers are my favorite sources when it comes to news about the LA Rams. I appreciate that. Yeah, Peo does a really good job. Rudy, I don't know Rudy. And I guess Travis Rogers does Locked on Rams. Yeah, Peo, I really like Peo. He's in here right now. He's a really good person. I've had the pleasure of collaborating with him, and I would recommend that dude to anybody because he just is so passionate. He's such a nice guy. I mean, you know, you come, you do all this stuff, you do all this content creation, and you can figure out pretty quickly, you know, when you're talking and you interview all these people, like who the nice people are and who the people are that are kind of slime balls. And I'll tell you right now, Peo is a very nice guy. You should, as a matter of fact, you should go out of your way right now to subscribe to his channel if you haven't. True, smash that like button. Yes, thank you, Jake. Appreciate you. What's up, Jake? 6 in a row. You're the GOAT, man. I'm trying. Let's go for 7 tomorrow. Let's go for 7. You know, I'm really digging it right now. Dr. Dingus, not picking any Rams players. Who is one player that is going to be a top fantasy contributor that is getting slept on? This is a great question. You know, there's a lot of different angles I could go, but I'm going to go with, I'm going to go position-wise, and I'm going to break this question up because I think there's a lot of potential here. Nice run there, by the way, by the Breakers. So, at quarterback, guy that's not being talked about enough, Kirk Cousins. Could be a top 5 fantasy quarterback. No, he does not run the ball. I get that, right? You know, there's a lot of guys like a Josh Allen, a Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, too soon, I guess, to talk about him, but when he's, you know, obviously playing, their ability to run the ball makes them more valuable. I think you're going to see that with Zach Wilson this year with the Jets. I'm very, very excited for Zach Wilson. I think he's going to have a great year, and people are not going to see it coming. However, what I will say is Kirk Cousins is not the runner that you would expect from some guys. However, Kirk Cousins has Justin Jefferson. Wow, I'm all over the place. Justin Fields is another guy that can run and throw. He's an interesting one. Look out for him. But Kirk Cousins has Justin Jefferson. He's got Adam Thielen. Irv Smith Jr. is back. He is healthy. He's got Dalvin Cook. I really do like what they've done. You know, obviously they go out and they get KJ Osborne a couple drafts ago. Now they have him. They also have Emir Smith-Marset, a guy that I loved coming out of the draft last year out of Iowa. You know, Iowa State. You know, he's somebody in my opinion. Actually, he was out of Iowa. I was wrong there. He's somebody in my opinion that can really stretch the field. He can give him a weapon. You also have Alex Madison. I think he's really going to help, as well as the kid, I totally forget his name, Ty Logan, I want to say? Ty Chandler, out of UNC. So there are definitely some guys there that are going to help. I think the offensive line is better. I told you guys, very, very high on the Vikings this year. Kirk Cousins is going to be a top 5 fantasy quarterback just off his arm alone. He's going to be in that Kevin O'Connell system, which means he's going kind of back to where he's comfortable. Sean McVay-like scheme, all of that. So you have that. And then running back, this is an interesting one. There are a lot of different ways I can go. And I understand you didn't ask this. You know, Dingus, I'm not going to stop at one player. I'll just give you, you know, I might as well, because I don't have to give you everybody. I can just give you, you know, skill position players, you know, all that. So fantasy running back, a guy that I think could really explode. Well, there are a couple of guys that come to mind, right? But there's an interesting player right now in Jacksonville that no one is talking about. And I just picked up in my Dynasty League. His name is Snoop Connor. Get on the train now. Here's the thing, okay? I like James Robinson. I like him a lot. Awesome, first down there. I like him a lot, but James Robinson is coming off a torn Achilles or some sort of Achilles injury or torn ACL. Let me actually double check that. But he's coming off a serious injury is my point. He had Achilles injury, yes. That's not easy, as we just saw with Cam Akers, okay? We don't know how Cam Akers is actually going to fully recover. They have Travis Etienne. All we were hearing is, oh, Travis Etienne is going to play like slot receiver, right? That's what he's going to do. Well, here's the thing, okay? This is what I would say. Snoop Connor is very intriguing in my opinion, because this is somebody who all of a sudden kind of owns this backfield, okay? If you really think about it, Etienne is going to be used as kind of a do-it-all type of guy, right? But Connor's built for this. He's built. This guy's big, okay? And if you don't remember him, he comes from Ole Miss. He ran a 4.59, which, he's not the fastest guy ever. 25 on the bench. And then this guy, in my opinion, 5'10", 222. He fits the build of a guy that can be a workhorse back if they need it. Go and get Snoop Connor in your leagues. You will not regret it. There's people that are sleeping on him because his name is Snoop. Or maybe there's some people that want to draft him because his name is Snoop. Who knows? But this is just me telling you, you're going to have drafts coming up for rookies. You're going to have regular drafts. Make sure you roster Snoop Connor on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think he's really got a pathway to playing a lot in his rookie year. Another guy that I would throw out there, big-time guy, another rookie, Jashaun Corbin. He came in just outside of the top 10 on my board, but this is somebody that's going to the Giants where you look and you're like, who's going to back up Saquon Barkley? I mean, they have Gary Brightwell they drafted, out of Arizona, but Corbin, who is a UDFA out of Florida State, I think fits the bill. I think this is somebody that's not given enough credit, and with Saquon Barkley and all of his injury concerns, I'm not guaranteeing Saquon Barkley has that job the whole year and doesn't get hurt. So I'll just say this right now. Keep an eye on Jashaun Corbin. You Florida State fans already know him, but I'm just going to tell you right now, Jashaun Corbin in fantasy, those two running backs, Snoop Connor, Jashaun Corbin, make sure that you're rostering them. Looking at wide receivers, obviously you guys know I think Allen Robinson, fun fact, and big, bold prediction, will lead the league in receiving yards, right? I'm a big believer in that. But I think there are some guys around the league that are intriguing, and I'm going to start with a guy on the New England Patriots, and it's going to be a surprise for you. It's going to be a rookie here, okay? And it's going to be Thornton, the Baylor receiver, right? And I totally forgot the first name, so I just had to say Thornton. I'm going to look up Thornton Patriots right now. But here's the thing, okay? The Patriots, Tyquan Thornton, is not just a one-trick pony. That's the first thing that comes up when you Google his name. But this guy's 21 years old. I understand the Patriots kind of slow play their rookies. They didn't do it with Mac Jones. He is the starter. And last year, they were top three in explosive passing yards. So this means that in plays that took 15 yards or more in the passing dilemma, then that means that they go as explosive plays, right? Well, do you know who the teams that were ahead of the Patriots in explosive passing plays? The Rams and the 49ers. So here's the thing. Mac Jones, whether you want to admit it or not, this guy's a gunslinger. He can throw it deep down the field. He had a bad game against the Bills. I would say he was set up for failure, to be honest with you. And nobody on God's green earth was beating the Bills that night. Anyway, I move on. The Patriots have a very interesting talent here in Tyquan Thornton, who is going to, he's going to give you that speed. This is somebody that was known for his 40 time. Whether it's fair or not, he ran a 4.28. Initially, it looked like he broke the 40 time, but that was unofficial. So this is somebody that obviously can stretch the field. It's a great fit for the explosive offense that they run. And so I think this is somebody that you want to roster. In addition to that, I think you might also want to roster another guy on the Patriots, and that is Devontae Parker, who people have kind of forgotten about. He was with the Dolphins. He's had some injuries. He's got a change of scenery here. He's with the Patriots again. I love their explosive play rate, and so for that reason, I think those are two guys that you're going to want to keep an eye on and roster. Another guy on the Giants, I would say a rookie, Wan'Dale Robinson, I think is definitely interesting. And I think the big name, the guy that I think is going to absolutely explode this year, who's bigger than all of them, right? The guy that no one is talking about on the level he should be talked about, Alec Pierce of the Indianapolis Colts. I think he is going to absolutely explode. He is going to lead all rookie receivers in yardage. Watch out for Alec Pierce, number 14, catching bombs from Matt Ryan. I'm telling you right now, he was underutilized at Cincinnati. Big fan of Alec Pierce. So you fantasy fans out there, go and do that. As far as tight end, I'm just going to say it. Tyler Conklin on the Jets. People aren't talking about him enough. They see CJ Uzomah. He played on a Super Bowl team. You know, he had that connection with Joe Burrow, all of that. But I'm telling you right now, the Jets wanted to go back to running 12 personnel, so they paid the same amount of money to both guys. Pretty much the same, right? Patriots did the same thing. They paid Hunter Henry, and they paid Jonnu Smith. The guy that everyone thought was going to be the recipient of the most targets was indeed Jonnu Smith. However, Jonnu Smith last year was a bust because he was drafted very high by a lot of people and did not do it. It was actually Hunter Henry that came away with the touchdowns, came away with the premium touches. So if you're looking at those tight ends, I'm going with Tyler Conklin, who's from Minnesota, over CJ Uzomah. So watch out for him. Another, in my opinion, another tight end that could be interesting. I know Austin Hooper, some people want to talk about in Tennessee. Interesting opportunity there. Finally got a change of scenery. But watch out for Chig Okonkwo, the 5th round pick out of Maryland. I think this is somebody that could be utilized as, I've said it before, if you guys have watched the earlier stuff, he could be utilized as like a, what's the word, Juszczyk, a Kyle Juszczyk, kind of a do-it-all fullback, running back, tight end threat. Very athletic. I believe he ran a 4.5 at the combine. Just super athletic guy. I think they're going to utilize him as well. So that's all I'll say there. I don't want to bore too many people because not everyone's into fantasy, but that's what I'll say there. So PFF didn't have McVay in their top 10 coaches. That was ridiculous. Jake El Hombre Aranya hitting us with the sinister 6-Pete on the consecutive days streaming. Yes, I'm trying to anyway. Always get super jelly that your chain is nicer than mine. Well, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I love a really nice, like a Cuban chain. This is like a 5mm. So I used to have like a rope where it was like really thin, but I prefer this. Hey, Jake, do you think the Rams will be even better in 2022? I do think so. I definitely think there's a pathway for the Rams to be better in 2022 for sure. Let's see. Oh, Rudy is okay. Ramelia. Oh, got you. Okay, I didn't know that. Awesome. Yeah, I like Ramelia. Travis Rogers, also the host of the Rams pregame, postgames on ESPN LA radio. Got you. Why do people put Jay Jettis over Cup in receiver rankings? It's not like he's a burner or anything. Only edges I see are size, 50-50 ability. Thoughts? I think Justin Jefferson right now is probably wide receiver 1 when it comes to fantasy, because now you're adding Allen Robinson, and we didn't really see Cooper Kupp with a real number 1, like a number 2 receiver that was taking away his touches. So I do get that, because last year Justin Jefferson showed you, actually both years, even with Adam Thielen, he's still a wide receiver 1, and he can be that top guy. We haven't really seen that with Kupp, right? So to see that type of production last year when, in reality, it's not like he had an Adam Thielen the whole year. He had Woods for some of it. He gets hurt. He had OBJ for some of it. And most of that, he was learning the offense. So when you really think about it, it does make sense why fantasy-wise, Justin Jefferson is ahead of Cooper Kupp. However, if you're going to say the best receiver in the league is not Cooper Kupp, I don't really see why. Because he has 1 year. I don't agree with that. So I think, a guy coming off a Triple Crown, the first Triple Crown since 2004 with Steve Smith, I think it's a disservice to him. And I think there are other reasons there that you can assume, what I'm talking about in regards to that. I'll leave it at that. Justin Jefferson recently said that he's excited for O'Connell offense. I believe he said something along the lines, we ain't a run-heavy team anymore, which bodes well for Kirk fantasy-wise. Exactly. Now that you... I missed something. Thanks a lot, YouTube. Definitely wasn't reading that at all. I love when they do that. All right. Now that you were covering the Jets, I've seen some reports saying they love what they are seeing for Breece Hall and see him being the lead back. What have you seen, and what do you think they do with Carter? Yeah, so, that's kind of what I've been seeing as well, what I've been hearing. Look, Breece Hall is going to be the starter. They brought him in to play on first down, second down, third down. Can help you in pass pro, can help you in the run game, can help you in the receiving game. But they do have value in Michael Carter. And when people are trying to write off Michael Carter, they need to realize one important thing that it comes to building a team and, just in general. And you know what that is? The important thing is that Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh were there last year when they decided to pick him in the draft. That means he is part of their regime. He's not an old regime player. So they still have some attachment to him. And this guy performed last year as a 4th-round pick out of UNC. So I don't think we should just write off Michael Carter. I don't think that's fair at all. I think he's going to be utilized more in the passing game. Honestly, I think they're a little similar to the Rams running back situation without the third back that's a rookie. The third back in New York is Tevin Coleman, who has familiarity with the offensive coordinator, Mike LaFleur, and Tevin Coleman. But the thing with the Rams and the Jets, and why I think they're similar, and just a little bit different at the same time, is that Cam Akers doesn't have the trust from the Rams to be that do-it-all bell cow guy without any sort of limit on him. They're going to put a limit on Akers. He suffered a very serious catastrophic injury. He came back from, yes, but that's still an injury that you got to monitor. You can't have him touching the ball 400 times this year. So I think Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson could be looking over 200 touches. I think right off the rip, Breece Hall's already shown you, touching the ball 800 times in college, that they feel comfortable giving Breece Hall the ball more than 200 times, carrying wise. So I think he's going to get 200 plus carries, and the touches will be around maybe 240, 250, whereas the other guys, I think they're going to be closer to 200, touches total, if that makes sense. But I do think they're similar. Michael Carter will be used similar to, Darrell Henderson. I think they both have a bigger role in the passing game than the starter, whether it's Breece Hall or Cam Akers. Mr. Ellenbogen, sir, McVay is getting a statue at Miami of Ohio. I am not sure if you mentioned that yet. That is way cool. What do you think? Love to see it, and I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, this guy just won the Super Bowl. He's been to 2 Super Bowls in, 5 years? He looks like the next big thing in coaching. I mean, I think he really is. And so, as of right now, I mean, yeah, definitely statue-worthy. Jake the Snake, did you see the Yankees got no hitter? Yes, I did see the Yanks got no hit. They still have 50 wins, so I'm okay with it. I do hate the Astros, so that was frustrating, but it felt good to beat them the other day, so it is what it is. But as long as the Yankees win the World Series, I won't care. The no hitter won't mean anything. The Astros can celebrate that. I feel like since it's the Lions, Amon-Ra is still going to be slept on, but it really felt like Goff has the type of trust in St. Brown that he did in Cup, and I'm going to look for Goff to force feed him this year. That's a good point. It seems like a lot of people were like, as soon as they drafted Jameson Williams and they signed DJ Chark, they're like, oh, Amon-Ra almost had 1,000 yards in 7 games? No, I'm not interested in him anymore. Amon-Ra still has a ton of value. I like Amon-Ra more than I like the other USC receiver, Michael Pittman, in Indy. As a matter of fact, I actually think Michael Pittman's somewhat overrated in Indy, and I'll go as far as to say I think Alec Pierce ends up being wide receiver 1 in Indy by the end of the season. Alex, as long as the Ford family owns the Detroit Lions, they will remain mediocre. I kind of disagree with that. I think what they did in going out and getting Dave Campbell, I think Campbell's going to turn him around. I really do. It may not be overnight, but I definitely think that he's going to turn him around. Jake, we heard time and time again that Goff couldn't throw deep, but he had 2 of the top 15 deepest air yard passes in the league since 2016. How do we explain that? Those are just 2, though. Goff couldn't. They traded, the Rams flat out traded Brandon Cooks because Jared Goff would not throw deep down the field consistently. When they got Brandon Cooks, they had it in their mind they were going to be more of a vertical offense, and Goff stopped wanting to throw deep down the field. I don't know what happened to this day. It's really uncertain how Goff just went from looking like a future star in the league to falling off the way he did, but I don't know. I would not put that. That is way too small of a sample size, though, Hilltop, for me to all of a sudden question everything that we learned from his time with the Rams. Because, again, 2017, 2018, Jared Goff looked like he was becoming a star. Towards the end of 2018 into 2019, not so much. 2020 was he's good, but he's not great, and he's not doing what he needs to do if this team wants to win a Super Bowl. So that's what I would say about that. Never say never. I mean, it's definitely not a guarantee. I think so as well. Let's see here. Who are a few players in the NFL you would trade to another team that don't fit the system that they are currently in and could turn out to have a better career on another team that they fit better with? A few players in the NFL you would trade to another team that don't fit the. Okay, I like this question. You always have some very awesome questions. I would say, ooh, I could have some fun with this if I really had time to dissect it. Let's think about this for a sec. Let's really think about. I could end up clipping this. This could make sense. It's 21-17 Birmingham right now. Go Breakers. Damn. Let's say quarterback. Who's a good team? Oh man, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, okay? Lamar Jackson on the 49ers would be unstoppable. I mean, he would be unstoppable. He'd be unstoppable. I think that would be a good fit. I mean, I'll say this is tough because I want to make sure I get this right. I think with what the Steelers want to do, I think Josh Allen on the Steelers would be like perfect. Josh Allen on the Pittsburgh Steelers might be the most perfect fit that you could come up with because he really emulates a lot of what they would want in like a Big Ben type quarterback, but he's so much more athletic and arm talent wise. I don't know if there's anybody like Josh Allen. So I would say Josh Allen with the Steelers. I would say, how about wide receiver? I'll be honest. I think Denzel Mims on the Bucks could be interesting. I think he could be interesting on the Bucks. Running back, gotta do something with a running back. I mean, let's just man, I could totally see if Dylan took over the backfield in Green Bay. I could totally see AJ God, what's his name? Totally forgot his name just now. The running back for the Packers. God. I love it when you totally forget your thought process. It's like awesome, dude. Thank you. Appreciate it. From UTEP, Aaron Jones. There we go. I know his freaking school, but I couldn't remember his name. If Aaron Jones got kicked out and they just had A.J. Dillon and Kylan Hill, Aaron Jones, low-key, would be an awesome fit in Kansas City. Aaron Jones would be the perfect back for the Kansas City Chiefs. The way Patrick Mahomes utilizes the offense, the way he wants to use a running back, I think he'd be a superb fit in Kansas City. I think, I mean, honestly, another one would be, I mean, Tom Brady on the 49ers would probably be really good too, you know? But I'd like to put a guy on the Saints because Jameis Winston's coming off a torn ACL. Who knows if he'll be the same? So let's just say, like, if we were doing the Saints, good fit for the Saints would probably be, I mean, Rodgers probably by default, but a guy that makes sense for what they want to do. I don't. Maybe Derek Carr. Yeah, I could see Derek Carr. I think he'd make sense. What's up, Nolan? Jake, as of right now, who's their best offensive lineman on the Rams? Good question. I mean, I kind of feel like Noteboom is, but, you know, maybe most of that's potential. So I think the most surefire is Havenstein. The weakest link is, well, it's got to be Bruss since he's a rookie. Like, we haven't seen him play in the NFL yet. I had the Vikings to win the North. I think the Vikings are going to beat the Packers. I know I keep going back and forth, but I really think the Vikings are going to beat the Packers. I think they're going to beat them out. There you go. I have. It's not really a rumor. Bleacher Report just created a trade scenario. But I've heard Montez Sweat and the Rams mentioned in the same sentence more often than once. So that's something to keep in mind. How far off is Bobby Wagner from his prime? Feels like last season was his first noticeable regression. Just want to get a sense of how good he is currently at the moment. I mean, at this moment, I would say he's not past his prime, but you can start to see some aging. But he's still, I mean, I don't want to say the guy had a serious regression after having 170 tackles. Because typically the regression starts when you can't tackle anybody and you're missing tackles and you're taking bad angles and your athleticism isn't what it once was. And I don't think you're seeing that at Bobby Wagner yet. I don't know, but people do. I think so. I don't think that's crazy. Yeah, the Lions have some good talent on the offensive line. That's interesting. Oh, that's a good fit. DK Metcalf on the Packers. Yeah, that's a good fit. I do like that. Man, I don't know. Tyler Lockett on the freaking on the Bills. Oof. Imagine Tyler Lockett on the Bills. How great of a route runner he is. Like, I don't know, man. That would be nasty. I did and I didn't. I'm not gonna hate on him because he's on my favorite team, right? But in reality, the guy that should have won the MVP for the Rams was Matthew Stafford. The interceptions weren't his fault. He threw a pass to Ben Skoranek, who flipped the ball up into the air to get it picked off. They held that against him. He threw it up for Van Jefferson to go up and get it, and Van Jefferson stood up and watched. They held that against him. But that's the media, right? The media created this narrative that Matthew Stafford is just Stad Pafford, right? Then when he started proving them wrong and winning actual games, then they quickly held their own to, oh, well, he's an interception machine, even though his 3 interception to touchdown or 3 interception ratio, whatever it was, 3 interception percentage, was like so different than what it normally was. Like he had never really done that before. Okay? Like that was the most interceptions he's like ever thrown. He was a guy that's typically around the 10 to 14 range, not 17. But again, that doesn't fit the narrative. What everyone wanted you to think is Matthew Stafford's a turnover machine. Matthew Stafford's interception prone. They wanted to quickly dodge the fact, and I brought this up on pretty much every podcast, every radio spot, whatever I did. I brought this up because these are facts that were not being ever put out there. Matthew Stafford never threw an interception in the fourth quarter last year. Not once. So, oh, well, he threw an interception. Great. But when I needed him, when it came down to it, and he needed to win the damn game, he did it. He was the best quarterback in the fourth quarter. He was the most clutch quarterback last year. Well, what about Tom Brady? He beat Tom Brady head to head. He actually dominated him. You could argue the Rams really put the Buccaneers back in that game. And they were freak fumbles, bro. 4 fumbles. 4! The Rams never do that. Kupp fumbled in that game. I mean, come on. So, that's my thing, okay? Matthew Stafford absolutely was deserving of winning Super Bowl MVP, but then it would have been the writers admitting that, okay, we have to admit that we were wrong. It's easier to, well, it's not like Stafford won the Super Bowl MVP. Dude, Tom Brady won the Super Bowl MVP, and he had a touchdown and like 152 yards passing against the Rams. And all he did was put them in position to kick a field goal throwing against prevent defense. It's not like he did anything, but because he won, and it's always like we're going to give it to the quarterback, okay. And if you noticed, all of a sudden that trend started to change. We knew it was going to change when Stafford. Come on. Stafford could have thrown 450 yards, 5 touchdowns, and they would have found a way to give it to Aaron Donald or Cooper Kupp. You know, come on. They were never going to give it to Stafford. It doesn't help them. They're trying to create this narrative and control it. You can't control a narrative when you do something like that. So, come on. But yeah, I'm not going to hate on Cooper Kupp getting the MVP. He was absolutely deserving of it. He was phenomenal, and he had to step up in a big crucial moment. But also, Stafford had to step up in a big crucial moment. And Stafford was the quarterback. So, like, you know, we overrate, like, quarterbacks have to win MVP, but then when a quarterback should win the MVP to win the Super Bowl, and we act like nobody can win a Super Bowl without a quarterback, now all of a sudden, it doesn't matter because it's Stafford. Gotcha. I see where we're going with that. All right. I think the Lions are closer to being a good, decent team again versus being a perennial bottom feeder. Brad Holmes is steering them in the right direction for sure, but got to break that Ford family curse. I agree. I mean, they're creating something. They're trying to build something that's sustainable. You don't build something that's sustainable overnight. They're putting in the foundation. They're doing the extra things. If you're building a house, right? You want to make sure that everything is done. You want to make sure that everything is done because it's from scratch. You want to go over it. Be like, did we miss anything? You could put a house on 4 spikes. If it stands up, all right, that's fine. But if you're not building a foundation or whatever, then the thing eventually is going to crumble. So that's essentially what the Lions are doing. They're building the foundation for the house. They want to just put house on land, not have any foundation. Sure, it's fine until there's a light storm that knocks your house down. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So that's really what they're doing. But let's see here. If Aaron Rodgers were the Rams quarterback, how many Lombardi trophies LA Rams will have? This is interesting, man, because I'll tell you right now, I have been a believer that Aaron Rodgers is the GOAT. He's by far the best quarterback I've ever watched and all that, but the last 2 years, he has not led his team to the Super Bowl with Super Bowl caliber teams. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel. Like, is he another Peyton Manning that is, like, absolutely one of the most dominant regular season quarterbacks you could ever imagine, then when it comes to postseason, he's not there? I don't know. But at some point or another, I mean, you got to get over the hump. So if they don't win this year, I think it also looks pretty bad. I'm going to say it wouldn't be any different. I don't think, well, okay, I'll say this. If Rodgers is taking over, because you didn't say when is Rodgers taking over. If Rodgers is taking over in the 2018-19 season, so he takes over, he plays in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, the Rams win that 10 out of 10. No doubt. Because a lot of what happened was Goff was not ready for that moment. And Rodgers would have absolutely destroyed the Patriots' quarters coverage. They ran it the whole game. And they just threw pressure at Goff the whole game. And made Goff make throws. And he couldn't do it. Rodgers would have done that. So at the very least, Rodgers wins the Rams that Super Bowl. Would Rodgers have beaten the Bengals? I'd rather not have a do-over and try to find out. That's where I sit on that. AK on the Niners would be hilariously OP. Yeah. Yeah, it would be bad. What's going on, Jake? What's up, Ricky? How we doing? Which recent Pivot podcast? Who was on it this time? They've been really getting a lot of guests. Do you see teams shortening the window for young quarterbacks to succeed, with teams now being more willing to trade for proven commodities? If so, they start implementing more college offenses in the NFL. It does seem like that, right? Like, I honestly feel like they were just hustling Sam Darnold. Like, man, if we don't get good stuff out of you now, we're getting rid of you. It's hard because part of me, you know, I feel for the young quarterbacks, and I definitely don't think the young quarterback ecosystem is taken care of in the NFL, right? I just don't. And anybody that's been following me knows that. It's why I have an issue like Kyle Sloter's, you know, right now he's starting for the Breakers in the USFL. This guy knows all these offenses. All he's ever done is proven himself when he's given his opportunity in preseason. And yet, he hasn't started a game, but Nick Mullins has. He hasn't started a game, but Jake Fromm has. You know, I think he's a lot better than both of those guys. But anyway, my point to your question, I do feel like slowly but surely, the teams are starting to look at the Rams model, and they're like, bro, the Rams literally traded away a guy that brought them to the Super Bowl, a guy that was looking like a star, had a bad year, and then a second year that was like, could have been better. They traded him away to go out and get a guy who you could argue is full of injuries, guy that really hasn't been able to stay healthy and all that, in Matthew Stafford, and who hasn't won anything, right? Because that was the biggest issue. And they felt like they got a steal. And now it causes these teams to have these internal discussions, because now it's like, whatever the Rams did just worked. So now we have to start looking at it. Like, I'm willing to bet with what the Jets are doing, and I don't think they're going to do this because I don't think it's going to happen. But if this year, if Zach Wilson came out and was just dog water, like we're talking really bad, to the point where you have to bench him for Mike White, and the rest of your team feels pretty damn good, and you're just feeling like, I don't know, man. I don't know about this Zach Wilson. If that was the case, I absolutely believe with what the Jets have done, what they have installed, what they have spent, there would be an internal discussion whether or not they want to continue on this Zach Wilson train. That's the way the league is going. And the thing that's crazy is that the Jets look really good right now, I think. Their team is very good depth-wise. We have to see it in the games, obviously. But they look pretty solid all across the board. They don't really have a ton of needs. So with that said, whether people want to admit it or not, if Zach Wilson struggled, well, let me just tell you. Let me just tell you right now. If Zach Wilson struggled, this Jets team's picking top 5. They're going to pick Bryce Young or the kid from Ohio State, whose name I always forget. I'm going to remember it sometime. CJ Stroud. That's what's going to happen. You mean to tell me soon Arch Manning's coming out, Quinn Ewers? I mean, there's all these quarterbacks that are coming out. I think if you're in that position and you feel like you have a good team and say, and I don't believe this is going to happen, so if anybody that's tuning in thinks I hate Zach Wilson, that could not be further from the truth. But if that does happen and Zach Wilson does struggle in his second year, the Jets would have options. They would be like, okay, we could get CJ Stroud or we could get Bryce. And I just, to me, at that point, if he did struggle, I mean, all right. You do you. You make that decision if you have to make the decision. I don't know. I was a little worried there. It looked like he might have fumbled, but I guess not. Breakers are trying to tie it up here, down 24-17 against Birmingham with 9 minutes to go. Winner goes to the USFL title game. I don't even know who they're going to play because I didn't see the earlier game, but anyway. But yeah, just kind of, looking at that young quarterback thing, though, I really think with how much talent is coming out of college now, and you're seeing all these giant classes, not this year. This year is a literal anti-example. But next year, if you're a Daniel Jones, who I believe in this year, I think Daniel Jones is going to make some strides. If you're Daniel Jones and you're not making those strides this year, next year you're going to get replaced. Oh my God, can somebody catch something that Slaughter throws? Jeez. Anyway, so that's my thoughts on that. Great question, though. Thought-provoking. The year I won my fantasy league and a crisp $600, I had Aaron Jones and Nick Chubb leading my backfield. My name was Jonesing for Chubb. Havenstein for sure, I agree. Havenstein and AD, only St. Louis members on the squad, I believe. That sounds about right. You don't get that he had 170 tackles? It's hard to believe, yeah. He just was a tackling machine. Yeah, smash the like if you can. We're at 24. Let's get those up. It will tell YouTube to start putting me in recommended. That's not even a thing. Recommended sections. Recommended, I don't think is a thing. You think Carolina will pick up Baker Mayfield? They could. They absolutely could. B-Wag's going to look rejuvenated in this roster. I agree. Locking on the Bills would be 40-plus yards catch beside. Yeah, I mean, he'd be crazy. Jake, if you were a GM for the Rams in NFL Fantasy, who would you want for the offensive line? I can just pick my offensive line. Left tackle. I'm going to say Trent Silverback Williams. If we're trying to win a Super Bowl, I got Matthew Stafford, and I'm picking my offensive line. Trent Silverback Williams, best left tackle in the league. I'm going to go with him. Left guard. Oh, man. I might have some fun here. Left guard, I'm going to go with Quentin Nelson. Center, I'm going to go with Frank Ragnow. Right guard, I'm going to go with Zach Martin. And right tackle, I'm going to take Tristan Wirfs. That would be like my dream offensive line. That would be the offensive line. Like, you know how you have like setups? You know, like this camera, for instance, I have different setups. So if I'm making a video, I can change. Like if I want to do 4K video, I have my different presettings, right? So my presets are labeled, right? This preset for this offensive line would just be like Stafford never seeing pressure again. Like Stafford would never be pressured again. If he had Williams, if he had Nelson, Martin, Ragnow, and Tristan Wirfs, and they all stayed healthy, who the hell is going to stop Matthew Stafford? No one. Man, a man can dream, right? He should have gotten the Super Bowl MVP. Yeah, he should have. The Rams are 3-0 against the Buccaneers with Tom Brady. I'm just saying. Yeah, pretty much. I feel like the Seahawks D definitely got exposed more last year due to the ineptness of their offense, and obviously a big part of that was Russ and Carson being injured. Less ball control football. Absolutely. Glock 9 was locked in for the postseason. Absolutely. If you could choose one, would you choose to have officiating in the NFL or MLB better? I would say the NFL because I only watch the Yankees and the MLB, really. I don't care about any other team. Like, I watch the NFL as a whole. Like, I love the Rams, and I like the Jets now that I'm covering them. I kind of liked them for a while. But in the MLB, I just care about the Yankees, man. You know, that's just really it. And whoever I bet on that day. Big 3rd and 9 here. Come on, Kyle. You got to catch that. Dude, everything he throws gets dropped. It's kind of frustrating. I don't know what they expect from Kyle Sloter, man. That's so frustrating. With 8:31, they're down by a touchdown. Man, that is so frustrating. He puts the ball where it needs to be. Receivers got to come down with it. God, the Stallions irritate me. They're really irritating. Yeah, that was weird when Brady won that Super Bowl MVP. Dude threw 152 yards. I think Pete Carroll's starting to completely lose touch with the league, if I'm being quite honest with you. I have noticed it. I definitely think Pete Carroll's starting to lose touch with the league. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, seems that way. Yeah, no, I feel it. Again, I'm not going to hate on Cooper Kupp getting the MVP for the Super Bowl. I'm just saying that Stafford was deserving of it, and I think that they had a plan that they weren't going to give Stafford the MVP. They probably would have given Donald the MVP or Von Miller. Like, he was never going to win the Super Bowl MVP. Seattle had those question marks for years. Low-key, Russell Wilson, Wagner masked so much of them. So true. Stafford's the only quarterback in the Super Bowl history to throw 3 touchdowns, win the Super Bowl, and not win MVP. See what I mean? I mean, come on. So obvious. There was some anti-Stafford thing going. Who's TB13? No, I'm kidding. I know where you were going with that. No, I've gotten to the point. where while Tom Brady fans annoy me, while the media annoys me with their love for Tom Brady, and Tom Brady does annoy me just on football. Outside of football, he doesn't bother me. But I've gotten to the point where I can no longer disagree if you think Tom Brady's the GOAT. Like, I don't know who I even think the GOAT is at this point, but I'm at the point where I think it is open for debate, but I'm just at the point where if you think Tom Brady's the GOAT, I'm not going to, like, disagree. You know what I mean? Like, whereas I think the argument for GOAT is way more up in the air in the in the NBA. Like, everyone just says it's automatically Jordan, and they discredit LeBron. I don't know, man. I don't even know how Kareem is left out of that equation. Wilt Chamberlain. I don't get it. And so, I don't know. That's just my thoughts. Magic Johnson as well. Like, I think it's way wide open in the NBA, but that's just my opinion. In that regard. I wish they would have done a first ever co-MVP with Steph and AD, then sold the crap out of those corny commemorative coins with their face symbol sides, which I definitely would have bought. That's a great comment. That should go in the Hall of Comments. That's great. That's how you orchestrate a comment there, Alex. Beautiful. By the way, fun fact, there was a co-MVP. Steve McNair, rest in peace, and Peyton Manning. They were co-MVP that year. I don't remember which year, so don't ask, but they were co-MVP. Come on, get a stop here. Third down. Damn it. They didn't get a stop. That's just me being mad. That's what I think. We'll see. Yeah, TB12, I see you. It's only a handful of media folks who aren't just hot take and clickbait analysts. I'm waiting for the Super Bowl or bust narratives for Buffalo. Did you notice a fall off in Stafford's arm strength last season? Should we just attribute that to the injuries he suffered early in the year, or is it something to be concerned about? Are you kidding me? They got the 3rd and 4, damn it. Oh, I hate them. I didn't notice a fall off. I think there were moments where, yeah, like he might have underthrown it, but I don't think his arm fell off, no. But he was also playing very banged up, so that's another thing. It's not even a good throw, dude. Dude, I'm watching Jamar Smith, and I'm like, he's throwing literally behind guys, and then Kyle Sloter puts it where it needs to be, and they drop it. But his guys are, this team is so irritating. I'm sorry for you, you Stallion fans, but oh man, dude, I really am trying to be nice about it, but my God, it's frustrating. Oof. I don't know if Russ Wilson's overrated. I don't know about that. By 2024? Well, I don't... Jesus. Oh my God, dude. So frustrating to watch this. There's option A, there's option B, but there's not quite always an option C. Kroenke is also spending a lot for players for Arsenal right now. That's interesting. I actually went on an Arsenal soccer podcast, and I know that sounds crazy because, I'm not the biggest soccer buff. As in, not the biggest. I don't know anything about soccer. But they brought me on to talk about it. Great guys, by the way. Before the Super Bowl. And I did kind of make the argument, if the Rams win the Super Bowl, well, Kroenke will have some more spending money that he might use towards Arsenal. I'm not saying he would 100% do that, but I didn't rule that out. And so then someone made an article about it too. Awesome. So our linebacker's down, and that running quarterback just got another first. So irritating. I absolutely can't stand the Stallions. They're really irritating. I've never disliked a spring league team this much, but they really bother me. Hey Jake, hope you are well. What do you think about the Colts staying where they are as far as receivers, or do you think they need to add a free agent veteran to be relevant? I think they got a fantastic rookie receiver in Alec Pierce. They got a young potential star in Michael Pittman. T.Y. Hilton's still a free agent, so if they want to, they can go out and sign him. Julio Jones is even a free agent. I'm not sold on Paris Campbell. I wouldn't be against them adding another guy, but I like where the Colts are at, so I'm definitely not hating. Jake, the players in the USFL, do you think that they can make it in the NFL? Yes, I'm actually going to put together a video for the USFL players. I'm going to put together two videos. Put together a video for USFL players I can see going to the Rams and making an impact, or somebody that can help them out. I'm also going to do it for the Jets. So players in the USFL right now that I could see making an impact for the Jets. Those videos will be coming out down the road. Mike White's only win was Bengals' third straight road game. The first two were blowout wins. So Bengals were flat, and there was no film on White. Once Buffalo saw the dink and dunk film, it was 4 interceptions, 0 touchdowns. Yeah, I remember that big Mike White thing where people were like, yeah, this Zach Wilson experiment's over. And I'm like, man, I'm happy for Mike White, but I don't know about that one. And so sure enough, we all know what happened, like you just said. So is it just me who thinks Jimmy G isn't going to get traded? Man, if he doesn't get traded, the 49ers really messed up. I think Mike White is going to beat out Flacco simply because of youth, which is why I also kind of feel like looking at some of these quarterbacks, the Jets could go after, a Te'amu. They could go after a Sloter or somebody like that. I think it would make sense for them. Do you think the Chargers look for a star receiver like Metcalf or Samuel if they don't get it done this year? Maybe. I don't think the receiver would be the issue, but maybe. I mean, Josh Palmer, I'm curious to see him this year. I think he could be in for a big year. Who do you like in the AFC West this year? I like the Raiders. No one's talking about them. They're probably just as good as everyone else, and they're not as flashy, I mean, I think that's really what it is. I think the Raiders, also, keep in mind the Raiders made the playoffs. The Chargers didn't. The Broncos didn't. The Chiefs did. So I don't know why we're talking about the Raiders and, this idea like they're a bad team. I think they're underrated, and it's going to be interesting. If Watson is suspended the whole year, Baker's traded, Saints are content with Winston. Do you see the Browns trying to bring Drew Brees out of retirement for 1 year since he's considering it? That would be up to the Saints since he would technically be under their jurisdiction, if you will. So I don't know about that. Breaker's really got to get a stop here. This game is going to be over. And, oh God, this game's so over. So annoying. They just can't stop these simple slants. I don't understand. So frustrating. Oh, man. I really wanted to see Sloter get a chance to play in the title game, but it doesn't look like they're going to. Dude's playing with all sorts of injuries, and his receivers can't even help him out. It's unreal. Yes, I'm bitter. I'm sorry. How would you make the NFL Pro Bowl exciting and better? I would just get rid of it. The NFL Pro Bowl is always going to be a player safety concern. It's not like the All-Star game. It's not like playing baseball and yeah, you can hurt yourself playing baseball, but for the most part, I mean, like it's just football is just too much of a demanding sport. But wow, Jamar Smith is really irritating. That's disappointing. Um, thank you. Yeah, right. I think Breeze is done as well. Good wide receiver core. Keenan just needs to be on the field. True. Gerald Everett in L.A. with the Chargers should do something. I think a lot of teams should consider Kyle Sloter. I mean, this is somebody that I really think could start in the NFL if given an opportunity. I don't just say that. He played with all these injuries this year. He played in this college, maybe even high school offense, which is why they didn't get as far as they should have. It's just, I mean, that's really what it is. Is that I really think he was held back by just he's got talent around him. It's just he's got guys need to make catches that when he's throwing it, putting it on the money, too many drops all year long. Protection was absolute garbage, and it really came down to I just think that they have just such a pedestrian offense, scheme wise. But I mean, this guy already has knowledge. Like he already knows John Gruden's really complicated scheme. He's been around a ton of NFL teams. I mean, I think Slaughter could play on most teams, and I really think he could start. I mean, if I'm the Seahawks and I don't go after Slaughter, or if I'm the Panthers, Slaughter could start as long as he's healthy. He could probably be the starter for the Panthers. He could probably come in and be the starter for the Browns. You know, as long as you give him protection, I mean, better than what he got in this. And this is honestly the drawback. While I love the idea of these guys getting an opportunity in USFL and all these leagues, but the problem with the USFL and all these leagues is the fact that it's the same thing. You have these offensive linemen that aren't as good as the other players at skill position spots when they need to be because it's a hazard. If you're playing behind a makeshift offensive line, bro, I'm going to say this right now, and this might be very controversial, but I don't really care because it's on my mind. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, I don't care who you put in this league. The combination of the football with the chips in it, so we already talked about that the other day. The combination of the talent that's not as good as the NFL. The combination of the lack of protection and these college dinkin' crap, RPO offenses. I don't think they would do that well in this league. The leading passer barely had over 2,000 yards. It's these guys that are running these college and high school concepts, and it's like, I don't even know if Tom Brady would be good in this league. I just don't. You look at the offensive line, like Slaughter literally has 2 seconds to throw the ball, then he gets it on target and the guy drops it. And then you hear, oh, well, he just, yeah, I'm sure. It's all Slaughter's fault. Give me a break. So, yeah. Really disappointing, though. We're looking at this game. God, Birmingham annoys me. My interest in the USFL is literally going to go out the window once the Breakers lose this game, though. 24-17 with 2 minutes to go. I'm just not going to care. Yep, there it is. Offsides. Awesome. Breeze at our assignment would be wild. It'll be similar to Peyton last year in Denver. Yeah, would be. Imagine going 5 wide. Odell, 2-2. Kupp, Jefferson, Allen, Robinson. On the other side, somebody getting beat. Yeah, that'd be crazy. Stafford in the healing chamber from DBZ. The hyperbolic time chamber. Oh, no, that's something different. Yeah. No, it's funny. The rejuvenation chamber. That's what it was. I wonder how long Stafford has stayed inside the healing pod just like Goku. How can anyone overlook Kupp? He set the reception category on fire in the NFL. Coaches to Kyle after the game. When you throw the ball, we expect you to catch the ball too. God damn it. Yeah. Yep. And there's the defense giving up on 3rd and 11. Dude, after every little pass, Jamar is like, yeah. Like, oh my God, dude, we get it. We get it. You're probably going to win. Like, calm down, bro. Every pass is like he just won the Super Bowl. My God. If you could choose one player from each rivalry team in the NFC West, who would you pick to be on my team? Let's see. We'll go with the Cardinals. And if we're assuming the Rams, who I could pluck from the for the Rams. So if we're assuming the Rams and who I could pluck for the Rams, look at the Cardinals. There's some players that come to mind. I would probably go with. This is tough. Just giving up at this point, I guess, Breakers. All right. I would probably go. I want to say Byron Murphy, if I'm being honest. The secondary looks so good, though, so I don't know. Man, that would be tough. Arizona, I have a few players. You know what? I'm going to say Rondale Moore. You add Rondale Moore to that receiver room. If you don't get Odell back, like, you have Rondale Moore still. Like, his explosive ability, like, yeah, I would probably go Rondale Moore. And then the 49ers. 49ers, I'll go George Kittle. I'd go George Kittle there. And then Seattle. What would I go with Seattle? This is tough. I don't even care. People are going to hate me for it. I don't care. I would go with my guy Kenneth Walker, the running back. That's what I would do. Just stockpile him. I wonder if the Cardinals trade Kyler for a top pick next year and fire Kingsbury after the season, since they are good. They are good quarterback prospects coming out next year if they don't make the playoffs. You could probably trade Kyler away realistically for 3 first-round picks, so I think they'd get more than that. But no, I could see that. I mean, if they blow it up. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, I hear you. It's funny. I don't think the Seahawks could get Jimmy G. I agree with that. This is literally facts. Like, I don't know why we act like Jordan. I just. Alright, cool. Totally giving up. Wow. Pathetic. That's so pathetic. Anyway, I totally agree with you, Sergeant Mike. I just think the thing people fail to realize is that Jordan didn't play in the toughest era of basketball. And we're always about toughest era, right? We're always about competition. Well, Jordan didn't play against the strongest competition. And also, Jordan didn't always get to the finals. Everyone's like, well, he's undefeated in the finals. LeBron is undefeated in the finals. Okay. LeBron has a losing record in the finals. Yep, all right. Well, LeBron's bad years are when he literally made the finals and lost. Like, Jordan had years where they didn't even make the finals. Well, he never missed a playoff game, or he never missed the playoffs. Okay, he made the playoffs one year. The Bulls were 22 games under 500. So people want to laugh at the Lakers this year, but the Bulls literally got in being a crap team and just the fact that they were tons of crap in the Eastern Conference. That just doesn't fit a narrative, obviously. Let's see here. What do you think about how Huey has been in The Boys? Do you find his character kind of annoying now that he has not liking how it's going with him and Yeah. I don't want to spoil it too much. But I've been a little annoyed with the direction they've taken his character. I'm not gonna lie. I get why they took him there, but I'm not the biggest fan. No. As a matter of fact, I think they're potential 7 to 8 to 9 winning team this year. So I would actually reject that. Has anybody ever low key built the sports empire that Kroenke has? It's quite impressive, yet not really known how many teams he fully owns. It's true. Wouldn't be surprised. I could see any of those teams winning that division. I just don't know why the Raiders are always that team that everyone forgets about. Pretty much at this point. They just gave up a touchdown. Unreal. I mean, you literally gave up 7 points on an 8-minute drive. So pretty much the whole fourth quarter, the Stallions had the ball. Oh, God. There goes my interest in the USFL for the rest of the year. I don't know what they're going to look like. Should be interesting. I do not think that's a bad option either. He might. We'll see. Which rookie edge? Man. I'm gonna say Thibodeau. Or Thibodeau, however you say his name. Kayvon Thibodeau is gonna have the best year. If you could have one Infinity Stone, which stone would it be? Oh my god. Oh my god. What the hell? What would I choose? Probably the Time Stone. I'd win some good bets with the Time Stone. The Time Stone would just I could monetize the Time Stone. I couldn't monetize anything else. The well, maybe the Mind Stone. I don't know. But I don't even know why I'm watching. The game's totally over. 34 seconds just for Kyle Sloter to put his body on the line some more for a team that can't help him out. Drops. Gave up a kick return right before the end of the half, right after Sloter led a touchdown drive. It just bothers me. I mean, I'm not kidding you. Every time, like, Jamar Smith threw a pass and completed it, he'd be like, yeah! Like, I was like, oh my god, dude, chill. Dude's upset he didn't get a pick. He's upset he didn't. You're up 31-17 with 30 seconds to go. You don't need an interception. To be honest with you, though, there's a reason why the Stallions are 9-1, going to be 10-1, and the Breakers are heading home. I don't think the Stallions are a more talented team, and Jamar Smith is nowhere near as talented as Kyle Sloter. But God, that coach is just way better. It's like, I'm tweeting it now because I'm just like, I'm so fed up. This is my best way to vent about it. I mean, I'm also live, so I guess I am venting about it too, but I think it's Skip Holt. Skip Holtz. That's his name. Yeah. What a bummer. What a bummer. Buda Baker was one I considered. Baker not going anywhere. Watson will be suspended. Bad look for them. No, Baker. It sounds like Baker's gone, dude. Honestly, the way it sounds is that they're not going to reconcile with Baker, and so what I was seeing is that essentially the Browns, are going to. Let me just turn off this TV. It's incredibly distracting. I don't know why it is, but I don't know why it can't. Why can't you sense my? 1 second, I guess. Yeah, I don't need to hear it. Thank you. That's insult to injury. They just start like I start hearing their celebration. Okay, back to what I was saying. So Baker is actually not, he is going somewhere. Watson will be suspended, but the rumor is that they're not really rumor. I guess the report is that Jacoby Brissett is going to be the starter. They're going to roll with Brissett, and I don't see Baker. I don't see Baker staying. I mean, he doesn't want to stay. They don't want to keep him. I can't imagine it. Top USFL players at quarterback: Kyle Sloter, Jordan Ta'amu. I think Luis Perez could see something. Running back: Reggie Corbin. He was great this year for the Michigan Panthers. I actually got a list. Where is it? My list. Okay. Cavante Turpin, who is the wide receiver 1 MVP. Sal Cannella, the tight end for the Breakers, thought he was fantastic. Bug Howard's another one. The one offensive tackle that really stood out to me was on the Generals, Calvin Ashley. You know, he really stood out. I think he's a guy that a lot of teams are going to be interested in at tackle. Like, he looked like a man amongst boys, like way better than everyone else. And I honestly thought when Sloter was fully healthy, I felt like he looked a lot better than every other quarterback in the league too. 2 edge defenders that you need to keep an eye on. I'm going to do videos on these guys, so don't worry about that. But Davin Bellamy of the Breakers, was really impressed with him this year. He came on strong, as well as Chris Odom for the Tampa Bay Bandits is a name that you want to, keep in mind. If you're looking at guys that, could potentially go from the USFL to the NFL, those are guys there. Both were already in the NFL. Donald Payne, the linebacker for the Gamblers, as well as Jared Fernandez, who did get hurt in this game for the Breakers. Those are 2 linebackers. Channing Stribling with the Michigan Panthers, the cornerback. I like him a lot. Shalom Luani is a safety that I really like. So those are just some names that you should just keep in mind moving forward. But, that's what I would say answering your question there. Quandre Diggs in Seattle. Oh, that's not bad. I don't hate that. Isaiah Simmons. I might take Bosa. I might take Bosa in San Francisco. That's tough. Kobe Bryant. Literally this. The best player that LeBron played with was Ilgauskas. If you don't know who that is, it's okay. Most people don't anymore because, well, he hasn't played in a while. And he was all right. But it was Zildronis Ilgauskas and like Larry Hughes and Daniel Gibson. If there's one TV show that you feel got canceled too early, you could revive for another season, which show would it be? Oh, this is easy. This is easy. You ever see The Following with Kevin Bacon? Psh. The Following, man. That got canceled. There should have been 5 seasons of that. They could have gone on and on and on with that. That was so good. If you haven't watched it, definitely watch it. Got canceled after 3 seasons. They could have made 4, 5, 6, whatever. Interesting. By the way, any action movie fan should check out Boss Level. You're the second person to request this. From Hulu. It's Schwarzenegger and Groundhog Day combined. One of the best 100 minutes of action along with a father and son theme. I like that. I will definitely see that at some point. Do you think Cam Akers will have a Pro Bowl season? I do not. I think he'll have a good season. I don't think he's going to have a Pro Bowl season, no. I don't think there's an opportunity to have a Pro Bowl season in the Rams backfield. Oh my God, I couldn't believe he said that. The way Benedict Mathurin came out and was like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm the best player in the league. And LeBron James is going to have to, I'm going to have to see how good LeBron James is. And I'm like, oh my God, dude. Talking about chip on the shoulder. Holy hell. How much better is Jimmy G than Jacoby Brissett, though? You know? Probably. Yeah, I mean, he got it. He got that, right? He got the attention. Yeah, we interviewed Elijah Garcia. He's somebody I could see definitely making the roster for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if he made the roster. Yeah, it's hard because you're trying to put on good tape, but at the same time you can't throw the ball because you have no time to throw it. It can be a little bit of a hard thing there. We signed a punter from the USFL? Where was I? I put that in and who did they sign from the USFL? They have Riley Dixon and Cameron Dicker. I don't see that they've signed anyone. You'll have to let me know. I haven't seen anything. Thanos. Yo, I love sneezing live. It makes me feel great. Be sure to hit the thumbs up, by the way, if you enjoyed me sneezing. No, I'm kidding. If you enjoy this in general, hit the thumbs up. Yeah, I'm not into the Top Gun series. I'm not into the Top Gun series, but maybe someday. I'm definitely not going to the theaters to see it. I've only heard good things, but I'm not going to the theaters to see it. I only go to the theaters to see like a really big time movie. No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness, James Bond, John Wick, Thor. I'm going to see next Friday, right? I think it's next Friday. Tell me it's next Friday. Otherwise, that's going to be a long wait. Oh my God, it's not next Friday. It's 2 Fridays from now. Damn it. Oh, I can't wait for that movie. Any Thanos. Most devastating football offensive trio. I mean, you'd have to, as far as Avengers, you'd have to assume, I guess, Wanda, because she could just fling the ball with her powers. She could be the best quarterback in the league. Then you got, I'd probably say, Spider-Man as a receiver, sticky hands, duh. And then as a running back, I mean, I guess you would obviously go with Hulk, because dude is just would run everybody over. It's not really legal, but Who do you think the big time TV series actor is that is supposedly signing with Marvel if the rumor is legit? Well, Lena Headey is the one that I heard it was. Who have you heard on that side, Dingus? Life on the Line, a killer says you have to recommend one show genre. It doesn't matter, a good show is a good show regardless what show it is. Mine is Californication. Does it matter what the show genre is? I'm so confused by your question. It's making me uncomfortable. I mean, really, my live schedule is just normally I go live at 9:30. If I go live earlier, I'll let you know. But for the most part, I go live at 9:30 every night. At least I have. What the hell is that? Oh, doesn't matter. Just like any TV show. Life on the Line Killer says you have to recommend one show. I mean, do they have to like it? Can I just recommend like nothing? No, I mean, I guess if I'm recommending any show right now, it would be The Boys. If Jake's still in here, he knows how I feel about The Boys. It's a weird show name. It is. I get that, but yeah, that's what I would say. Trade value for Donald? I have no idea. I mean, he's 31, but he's the best player in the league. So I mean, yeah, like I don't know. I couldn't get into the art on that. I really only like the animated series, Spider-Man the animated series. Also known as Spider-Man TASM. The more you know. Same here. Love Soldier Boy. Absolutely love Soldier Boy. But I don't know how much I love Soldier Boy or Jensen Ackles. I think he's just been so awesome. At this point, who is John Cena going to play in the MCU? We know it's probably inevitable at this point. I want him to be in the MCU so bad. The Resident Evil 4 remake, the game? I'll get you the update on that. It's coming out soon, I think. 2023. But like early 2023, which I call soon. Release date is March 24th, 2023. Resident Evil 4 PS5 remake. Oh, I can really see that. The most overrated actor slash actress. Oh my god. Well, this is gonna get clipped someday, so hopefully I don't meet them and they know it. But let's see. Good question. Really good question. I would say the most overrated actress. Now, understand this. When I say overrated, I still think they're good. I still like them. But they are overrated. Emily Blunt, actress. Here's why. I think she's fantastic. But people act like she is literally one of the all-time greatest actresses ever. And I do feel like a lot of it is because of the attachment with Krasinski. So I would probably say her as an actress. An actor, actor's Jared Leto. Like, notice Jared Leto can be in movies that do horribly, but then you still have people that are like, well, he was still really good in that movie. No, he wasn't, actually. This idea of just, oh, well, he does method acting. I mean, I don't act, so I'm not going to act like I do act, right? But method acting is kind of ridiculous. And it's already, like, people have already, like, clowned method acting. Method acting quotes. Like, where... Let's see. Actors who despise method acting and claim it is killing Hollywood. Will Smith. I don't do method acting anymore because when that psychological ground falls out, it's horrendous. I mean, method acting is what killed Heath Ledger. Because when you're method acting, you become the character. And it just... It's a dangerous game. Martin Freeman despises method acting. He does not appreciate method acting. He's a guy that gets the job done. He called method acting a highly impractical way of working, which is why I think it belongs more to the student and academic side of the practical ability side. That makes sense. He's saying for students of the game, for people that are learning how to act, okay. But when you have your craft developed, there's no point of doing it. John Malkovich hates method acting. I'm not a method actor. I don't believe acting should be psychodrama. I look within myself and see what I can find to play the role with. If I'm a blind man, I don't go around blindfolded for days. A lot of good actors would, but I don't go in for that very much. I like to just make it up as I go along. I agree with that. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And I understand some people are into it, and it's kind of like, I'm one of those people, like, to each their own. But when you do method acting, it's like, and Jake's going to laugh at this. Method actors, from what I gather from people in Hollywood that don't do it, they're the same people that have to tell you they're vegan every 5 minutes in a room. Like, yo, did you know I'm vegan? Yeah, I just want to let you know I'm vegan. I hope that's not going to be an issue because, I'm vegan. I just made a huge decision today. I'm vegan. Like, congrats. You're vegan. That's great. It doesn't matter to me. Like, I don't care. But then, it's the same thing. I'm hearing all this stuff about Jared Leto with, he had people, because he was playing Michael Morbius, who is, handicapped, essentially, because of this disease before he becomes the Morbius, the werewolf, right? Or vampire, whatever the hell he is, right? Anyway, my point is that he had all these people people that were on set were pushing him around in a wheelchair because he was method acting, which means you become the person outside of the film. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I love this example. Who was in Romeo and Juliet? Claire Danes says, "If I took my characters home with me, half of my life would be a misery. I think. No, I tend to compartmentalize work with my life. I'm not terribly method." That's the thing. Like, the method acting just gets weird. Charlize Theron, "It was good for me to figure this out, and I am much better now at understanding, living, and breathing at the moment with the character." Like, people are into it, cool, right? But, like, why is it your entire personality? Oh, there's a lot of things. Jake, I know, is listening to this and agreeing with me. There's a lot of things out there where, like, congrats, that's in, like, you're into it, that's cool. You do you, I'll do me. But, like, they make it their entire personality. Like, who are you? Do you even believe in individualism? Like, because method acting, other people do, you know. And you're not the only one that talks about it. It just, like, it does crack me up. And it cracks me up because I'm not an actor. And then people are like, well, it's not like you act. So it's like, you know, you don't know. It works for them. It's like, yeah, it works for Daniel Day-Lewis, who never acts, by the way. He waits like 10 films, or he waits like 10 years to act in a film. He has to love the film, and he only acts in like motion picture winners, right? Like best picture. He doesn't act in any sort, like he just on a random movie. These people are like acting in these indie films that aren't going to win any sort of award. They're not going to kill at the box office. And now they're turning into the character. And now they're dealing with depression and anxiety. And it's getting bad. And it's like, I don't know. Method acting, man, it's just weird. It just really is. And like, I know what's his face used to do it. I think he made fun of it recently. I'm going to look it up. But Christian Bale. Because believe it or not, Christian Bale method act. You know, he method acted for, what was it? I don't think he does it anymore, but he used to do it. He was method acting in American Psycho. He literally did the whole skincare routine that that Patrick Bateman had. But yeah, I don't know. It can get a little out of whack, and it is kind of weird, and yeah, and it can lead to some troubling things. So I like the storytelling, and Spectacular Spider-Man should have stayed on air. The Rock, if I'm being honest, I could see that. I like The Rock though, so I'm not gonna hate. But the All Train team: Cole Train from Gears of War, Night Train Lane, obviously, A Train from The Boys, and the guy that sounds like a choo-choo train from The Water Boy. What? I watched a YouTube video about Jared Leto's cult. Oh yeah, you told me about that. What's up, GOAT? Tom Cruise overrated. I think Tom Cruise is pretty damn good. I understand a lot of people don't like him, and I think the whole Scientology thing is absolutely like batshit in my opinion. Hopefully they don't come for my head after that, but you know, I'm not into all that, but I do think Tom Cruise is legit. Like, I think he's a very good actor. There are people that absolutely hate him, right? I actually wanted to point something out. So the other day, I'm on like Twitter, and I don't know why it was recommended to me, but all of a sudden I start seeing people hate on Daniel Craig, and I'm like, why? Like, what? It's so random. Like, people are like, Daniel Craig sucked as James Bond. Pierce Brosnan was better. And I'm like, I didn't know we were still like upset about that. You guys know those people that are like, Christian Bale isn't my Batman, Val Kilmer is, or Michael Keaton is. It's like, all right, guy, relax. Just like the people that are like personally offended that Tom Holland would ever play Spider-Man. And then their favorite Spider-Man ends up coming out and saying, yeah, Tom's probably the best Spider-Man that we've ever had. And they get all mad. Oh, man. It kills me. I don't know. People get all weird about that. Like, are you mad that Pierce Brosnan didn't play, like, in the Quantum of Solace and, like that, like, series? The rebooted, you know, 007? Like, are you mad that Pierce Brosnan at his age right now wasn't, like, where are we going with this? Are you mad it was rebooted? Like, what's the deal? Yeah, he is retired, Daniel Day-Lewis. But you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just kind of weird. He was one of the last greats to do method acting. It's just kind of weird though. Like, I noticed that the other day. It was like Daniel Craig hate, and I'm like, I didn't know anybody hated Daniel Craig. I don't know. Watch Knives Out. Daniel Craig is freaking awesome. Yeah, it's really odd. Pattinson got a ton of shit for playing Batman. A ton. Well, I don't want I don't want Edward Cullen playing a man character. I mean, let's do something really quickly, okay? Because everybody loves this one guy that played this one character, and I'm going to tell you who it is in just a second. But I want to look up and tell you his credits before he became this character. And I'm sure probably people already know where I'm going with this, but I'm going to do it anyway. So you ready for this? Gonna look up his credits right now, okay? This will be literally the perfect example of my point. So, this guy was, before he became everybody we know, he was in Oklahoma. Cowboy Curly McLean tries to win the heart of a girl in a singing and dancing extravaganza. What? Guess what? Who Cowboy Curly McLean was? He was Wolverine. Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman, guys. Hugh Jackman was singing and dancing. Wolverine. The guy that was in Logan, that was literally stabbing people through the eye with his... Really? And you're going to hate on Robert Pattinson becoming Batman because he's Edward Cullen? Hugh Jackman was on Broadway. People hated it at the time. I've gone back and looked at like posts like people had back in the day. Articles. Hugh Jackman doesn't have it in him to play Wolverine. Now people are begging for him to come back to play Wolverine in the MCU. We do it all the time with actors, right? We see a guy in a role, we like him in the role, or we see a woman in the role, like her in the role, and then we act like they can't ever escape that role. Like, think about how weird it would be if Zooey Deschanel was in the MCU in a serious role. Think about how weird that feels. You know her from New Girl, probably Elf. How weird would it be to see her in a serious MCU role? Okay, now Chris Rock. Chris Rock? Really? Well, Chris Rock was just in Spiral. Spiral's a good movie. Based on the Saw series, Spiral's a good movie. Chris Rock played... He was in an actual horror movie where he had to really act. I think far too often we forget these guys have range. Not everybody, but they're actors. They're paid to be someone else, play another role. The Pattinson thing was ridiculous. He wasn't given a fair shake, and then all of a sudden he proved everyone wrong. It's ridiculous, dude. It's absolutely ridiculous. Over and over and over again. And I didn't know that was a thing, but I thought we just all like agreed that Craig was the best Bond, or was one of the best Bonds, or was like pretty much flawless or whatever. But there's people that like legitimately don't think he did a good job. And I'm like, when I think of James Bond, I think of Daniel Craig. When I think of Spider-Man, I think of Tom Holland. I know that sounds crazy, but that is how good he played that role. Every time I think of Spider-Man, Tom Holland. When I think of Wolverine, it's Hugh Jackman. Like, Hugh Jackman rolls off the tongue as soon as I say Wolverine. Captain America, you have Chris Evans there. I mean, Johnny Storm, Chris Evans. I don't think of Michael B. Jordan. Nuh-uh. I think of Chris Evans. So hopefully there's a better Johnny Storm. Batman, I think of Christian Bale immediately. Yep. Yeah, I was really impressed and I was proud that they really drilled it through our heads how much of a detective film they wanted to make that. I really liked that. That was really cool to me. Nicole Kidman. Who is that again? Didn't she date or marry Tom Cruise at one point? I don't know. I don't really know her because I haven't really seen anything she's in. She apparently was in Aquaman, which I never saw. Yeah, she was in the Northman, which I never saw, which I do want to see at some point. She's apparently in Aquaman 2. I still can't believe they haven't come out with Aquaman 2 yet. Oh my god, that would be nuts. Cavill is Bond. I mean, you know who would be a really good Bond? Richard Madden. I think Richard Madden would be a good Bond. Oh, I see you. A lot of people think it's Sean Connery. Yeah, exactly. Idris Elba would be cool. Yeah, I didn't really like I thought they should have just like had what's his face portray the Riddler from Gotham. He's like great. Or they should have had what's his face from the guy who some genius thought would be a good Lex Luthor. I don't know. I agree with that. He did. Amen to that. Yes, cuz I should do it too. Yeah. I think he is, yeah. Connery is goaded though. Who would be I don't know. Who should the next Bond be? I looked up who should be the next Bond. Richard Madden was the first one that came up by Men's Journal. I did hear they wanted to make it female, but Richard Madden would be a perfect Bond. Uh, Tom Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston. That would be interesting. Henry Cavill is in this. Idris Elba. All right, so everyone we talked about except for Hiddleston and Tom Hardy. Lashana Lynch also is in it. She was 007 in the most recent Bond movie. If you don't know, well, you could probably figure it out by watching it. Jack Houston, I don't know who that is. James Norton, I don't know who that is. Charlize Theron, I've seen her mentioned a lot. Kit Harington is Bond? No, I can't see that. Alicia Vikander? Nope. Michael Fassbender? I don't know if I could see that. Tom Cullen? Aiden Turner? And Margot Robbie. Wait, there's hold on a second. There is a Bond. You could bet on who becomes James Bond. Are you kidding me? What? How can it? What? I'm trying to do that. Odds checker, James Bond. Oh my god. Bro, are you Bro, odds checker has a James Bond market you could buy. You could bet on different. I didn't even know this. Maybe I'm an idiot, but oh my god, dude. Henry Cavill 9-2 betting odds for James Bond. Tom Hardy 5-1. You can bet on Tom Hardy becoming James Bond. That is so funny. That's hilarious. Richard Madden is 10-1 odds, bro. Richard Madden's 10-1. That's crazy. Like this is so crazy, dude. Cillian Murphy 14-1 odds. Chet Wittel Ejiofor 10-3 odds. Yeah, you could Nikolai Coster-Waldau 25-1 over on Unibet. You could bet on it. This is crazy. Benedict Cumberbatch 80-1 odds to play James Bond via Skybet. Justin Timberlake 80-1 odds via Betfair. Aaron Taylor Johnson 40-1 odds. This is nuts. Amelia Clark 100-1 odds. Chris Hemsworth 100-1 odds. Guys, this is nuts. I didn't even know this was a thing. Daniel Radcliffe 200-1 odds. Martin Freeman 201 odds. Oh, Martin Freeman could probably. They'd want to go with probably someone younger, I would assume. Adam Driver 300-1 odds. I don't even know if that's a bad. Michael B. Jordan 500-1 odds. I don't know about that one. That's crazy, folks. That's a good question. Does there need to be a James Bond? I mean, there's gonna be. I don't know if there needs to be. I thought they ended pretty well. I like Tom Ellis. I could kind of see that. Kate Hudson is another overrated actress. Yeah. Jake is right now. Who are the best candidates to don the Wolverine claws and badass sideburns? Daniel Radcliffe should be the favorite, in my opinion. Good question though. We got Daniel Radcliffe. I'm trying to think, man. I could see Tom Hardy. I don't know if I would want that, but I could totally see that. I really think Radcliffe is the best option, but I could see Tom Hardy. I could see Scott Eastwood. I could see Theo James. I could. Wow, Harry Styles is only 20-1 odds to play Bond. Lashana Lynch is 50-1 now. Okay, that doesn't sound. Odds are getting better for Jamie Bell. I noticed that. The craziest odds apparently are Angelina Jolie at 750-1. That's funny. Is there an odds checker for Wolverine? I gotta see. I don't really know. I guess Tom Hardy is the odds favorite, but I can't find it. Sandra Bullock endorses Daniel Radcliffe to play Wolverine. Yes. Actually, I'm going to say it right now. Sandra Bullock is underrated. She is not given enough credit. She's fantastic. I saw her in, what the hell is it called? The Lost City. I think Sandra Bullock is a queen. She deserves more credit. Flat out. I also think Daniel Radcliffe does too. But yeah, it sounds like Tom Hardy, like that's getting really, the odds are getting really good for Tom Hardy. I'll be honest, I don't know if Scott Eastwood makes any sense. He looks kind of like him, but eh. I don't want to see him go the Daphne Keane X-23 route, but I think maybe at some point bringing her in might make sense. Is it Jay Courtney? Is that, or Jai Courtney? See, Jay Courtney always plays the bad guy, but I could totally see him kind of pulling off that, like, look. He's a good actor. I don't see the Aiden Turner approach at all. I don't. Scott can. I can't see the guy from Hawaii Five O at all. Momoa could do it. I don't know. He could. Jensen Ackles, he could. Not a fan. I mean, he's never a good guy, so. Oh god. Yeah, I don't like him as Wolverine. I think No Time to Die was the best James Bond film after. Nah, was it the best? I think Skyfall was my favorite. No Time to Die was second. Oh, I know. I feel so bad for him. I mean, that movie's not even going to be co-produced by Kevin Feige. That has no chance. Animal lover Craven. Craven the Hunter is an animal lover. All right. That's something. No, American actors should not be 007. Let it be an actor from UK or Australia and New Zealand. Yeah, so 007 could be Richard Madden. Give me Seth Rogen as James Bond. Interesting. I don't hate the female actress idea. I really don't hate making Bond female. But like don't call her James Bond, please. Just like make a new character. I don't know. I mean, probably rehashing the same villains. I imagine we'll get Jaws or something. Whatever his name is. Yeah, Skyfall is the best. Yeah. If McVeigh has a biopic, well, actually, I don't know. It might be too late. Scott Eastwood would be good to play him now, not down the road. Are they going to recast that? I like the girl they picked for Lois Lane, but honestly, no. And here's why I would say no about Sandra Bullock. Lois Lane has to have some sort of damsel in distress type of like, I just don't think like based on the way Sandra Bullock how powerful she is, like how powerful of a woman she acts. I just can't see her playing a damsel in distress. Like she did that as kind of a joke, like because it was. I mean, it was a comedy, like action movie, with the Lost City. But at the end of the day, like she didn't work as a damsel in distress. Like they kind of made fun of that, right? She never at any point was worried. She was very relaxed. Like I couldn't see her being like Lois Lane. I feel like she's like stronger than what Lois Lane is. Craven time. Yeah. No, I hear you. I don't know how you top that either, but good luck. Yo, when is the next John Wick coming out? March 24th, 2023. Isn't that the same freaking date that Resident Evil 4 is coming out? Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Same day. Wow. That day's going to be nuts, especially for the channel. Dude, I'm definitely going to stream Resident Evil 4 remake and I'm going to watch John Wick 4. I can't wait for chapter 4, dude. Cannot wait. John Wick is so awesome. If you've never seen it before, I highly recommend checking it out. I think Doctor Doom's going to be Cillian Murphy. I would almost like guarantee he's Cillian Murphy. Sounds like a great day. I could see Edgerton, yeah. I could see both of them. I could see Taron Egerton and I could see the other one. Joel Edgerton, the Australian. I didn't see the Ozark series. I watched a few episodes here and there with my family, but I wasn't like following it really. I think he's gonna get reps all over the place. Definitely special teams, but nickel, pseudo, yeah, I could see it all. They'll get him involved more this year. They definitely really like his trajectory, so that's somebody. So guys, I think we're gonna bring this thing to a close. It's been a really fun live stream. I'm gonna go, but I'm thinking I'll probably do a gaming stream if anyone's down. I think I wanna play some Forbidden West if anyone's down to watch. Yeah, and I think Cillian Murphy makes sense. I would play Gambit. No. Channing Tatum, man, he wanted it. I would give it to him. He's not the guy that I initially would have expected, but I think you got to give it to Channing Tatum. No one wants to be Gambit more than Channing Tatum. Dude gave up like 5 years of his acting career just to try and make that project come to life. I will say though, you could totally get a Gambit out of Matt Bomer. Was it White Collar? I think he's from. I think he was also in the Doom Patrol. I didn't see that, but I'm pretty sure Matt Bomer's from White Collar. That's where I think I reckon. Yeah, yeah. Matt Bomer as Gambit would totally work. I would go with him, or I would go with Channing Tatum. Apparently, some people think Matthew McConaughey. I don't see why they would do that. Jared Padalecki. I've never even seen him as Gambit, but apparently someone made a concept art. Well, Doesn't look that bad. I don't know, man. I think he fell off a little bit. I'm not too worried though. I did answer this, but I wanted to highlight it. Yeah, I think that would mean it. Murphy's not that old though. Liv Schreiber. He's not going to play Doom, I don't think, but I do like Liv Schreiber. Looks like Shang-Chi and Miss Marvel are connected or tied together. Yeah, that's the vibe I got. The 10 rings were very much on full display. Yeah, no, I agree. Kick-Ass 3. Yeah, guys, so just before I leave, I'm curious, who's going to follow me over to that stream? I'm just curious. My man. Let's see. Got that. Because I think what we can do is we can create it now, right? And what we'll do is we'll make it a redirect. So I think I can redirect everyone over there. We'll see how I can do this. Let's see. I'm going to play Forbidden West. Yeah, I'm gonna play Forbidden West, so I'm gonna try to redirect everyone now. Alright. Redirect. Forbidden West. Okay, so apparently once I end this, it will send you over to the other stream. I don't know why I don't do this before, but I'm going to start doing this. Hopefully I'll get more of a turnout because of this. So let's do this. Let's have some fun. This is not going to be a Let's Play. This is going to be the same thing as JE Live. I'm going to answer questions. I'm going to put them on the screen. I thought it went pretty well yesterday. Got some decent views. You know, for not gaming for a while. And when I do, this is how I'm going to do it. So for those that are worried about my gaming affecting the channel, don't, because once I finish, I'm going to unlist them. It will go into a playlist that will be on my channel. So the people that care and want to rewatch any videos that I've done with gaming, or they want to go back and, you know, or they didn't watch it, right? And they want to go and watch it. You can do that in a playlist on my channels. That way, I'm not stepping on anyone's toes. I'm not alienating any of my audience. That's how we're going to do it. I think that's the best course of action. So, I am going to do that. I'll send you guys right over there. For those of you who are leaving me and will not be joining, it's okay. I understand. I will see you hopefully tomorrow. We're going to try to do this again. And just stay right here. Don't go anywhere, because I'm going to redirect you over to that stream. Hopefully it works, and if it doesn't, I'll blame YouTube, right? But I will see you guys in the next stream. Later.